Hey, welcome back, and what a delight to have in the studio with us today, Pastor Gyan Pantha. He's founder and president of the Children's Rescue Mission in Nepal. His own story is probably worth a whole hour show. Welcome, good to see you.
Thank you, sir. So
good to see you.
Thank you.
You're one of 6 children, is that right?
That's right, sir.
And you're the only one that had the opportunity to go to high school and college?
That's right.
Wow. And then you were an atheist and part of the communist movement?
That's right. It was just a great moment there because the communist was, it was like a heaven sent or something just amazing that would provide
everything you want.
Everything you want.
What happened to you? How'd you change?
During the college years, I had been asked to come to a volleyball playing event that was organized by a local underground church. That's how I was exposed to the gospel, sir, for the first time.
Wow.
And gospel attracted me more so than anything else during that time. So that's how it happened.
And you came to the Lord there. Wow, that's wonderful. Well, tell us about Children's Rescue Mission in Nepal. What's the Lord called you to do there? In
Nepal, 5,000 to 7,000 young children have been sold. That is, according to the United States State Department's website. 5,000 to 7,000 young children have been sold from Nepal to India.
Wow.
That is for the prostitution purpose. When you say about child trafficking or human trafficking, it is very much widely used word. And then also in Nepal, there are 3 kinds of trafficking in Nepal. One is for the prostitution. Another one is the domestic slave labor, and another one is bond slave labor. So we want to focus on helping children there at home, so they will stay home. If the families are desperately poor, and we also help them sustaining with their some business opportunity, perhaps buying a vegetable cart, perhaps buying some goat for the family, so they get to sustain themselves. Wow. But it's a whole family ministry, if you will. But our hope and desire is we want to stop the child trafficking in Nepal while we are sharing the gospel. Gospel is the key, because gospel changed me. That's why I'm here speaking with you, sir.
Yeah.
It was not because of my education or something, connection that attracted me. But what attracted me, what changed me is the gospel. That's what we want to bring it to Nepal as well.
So, is it hard to share the gospel in Nepal?
It is hard to share the gospel in Nepal because Nepal has 81% of the people, they are Hindu. 9% of the people are Buddhist. Buddhists and Hindus commingle together. Christians are looked down upon and harassed. Even though Nepal has become, again, we don't talk negatively about the government. We are not criticizing Nepal's government. But this is a fact that Nepal's society in general is harassed, is difficult to deal with. For Christians, they are difficult. In a way that in a community, the predominantly Hindu community, it is difficult to do the gospel work there. Even though you are doing a good work, when they find out you are Christians, the things would become difficult.
Are they persecuted? Christians persecuted?
Christians are persecuted. In fact, sir, it was a few weeks ago, they had pastors who were arrested in Nepal. And they didn't have any reasons to keep them in jail, but they were released later on.
So how do you do your work? I mean, they know basically you're a Christian missionary, but helping families. How risky is that for you to get caught?
We have churches all across Nepal. We have over 60 churches that we represent. And we have indigenous missionaries that we work with. Indigenous missionaries will get the information about children, and they will come to the church. And we work through the church, the local churches. It's a biblical. We work with the local churches, and indigenous missionary. That's how we do our work. But we don't have a whole lot of things we need to deal with the government and other members of the society. But when you go in the outreach event and so forth, then that's where we encounter a lot of harassment, a lot of difficulties, and so forth.
Let me say to our viewers and listeners, childrensrescuemission.org is Pastor Gyan's website. Childrensrescuemission.org if you want to learn more about it.
Yeah, without the yes. Just a children Rescue
Oh,
Mission.
Rescue Mission, excuse
Yeah,
me. ChildrenRescueMission.org. Sorry about that.
That's right, sir.
And how's it going? Are you saving kids from the slave and sex trafficking?
That's right, sir. That's what we have been doing. What we do is which is why I said it's a whole family ministry, whole family movement there. If they have a desperately poor children, we categorize as in girl, orphan, low caste, and destitute. I just spell out gold. Girl, orphan, low caste, and destitute.
Wow.
Gold are sold. I use that term because they are most likely to be trafficked in India.
Wow.
So while we're helping the children, if the families are poor, we provide support for them, and also we don't leave it there. If we go when we travel in the villages, if they have a need, of course we help them with the businesses opportunities. And what we do in the meantime also is we give them awareness. We educate them about the trafficking, horror of the human trafficking. So that's how we work with the families.
You know, we've heard much in the news about how devastating the earthquake was in April of 2015, and a lot of people ran in to help. A couple questions come out of that. Has Nepal recovered, and how has your ministry helped in that recovery effort?
Yes, sir. 2015, on the April 25th, we had a great big earthquake there in Nepal. Now over 9,000 people have been died. We were there bringing relief in the mountain villages, remote mountain villages where the landslide had wiped out the hiking trails. Now the village had become all of a sudden extremely remote, and it would be impossible to even travel there. We brought a helicopter flight, bringing rice there, beans and cooking oils. We brought relief supplies through with some of the other ministries, partnership with other ministries as well, such as Samaritan's Purse. One of the gentlemen traveled with us, the retired Army Colonel Nick Rogers from Redding, California. And he traveled with us with another gentleman, Alfred Salador, an Army engineer, and then another, Nick Rogers is Army engineer, and another gentleman is engineer from Berkeley, Alan Crubb. These brothers traveled with us in Nepal, and we brought relief supplies in the villages. We helped the families get back on their feet.
What's your greatest need, Gyan?
Right now, it's helping children. We want to emphasize more on our education factor for the families, for those who have been victimized by the trafficking. We want to educate them in a greater level. We want to extend our resources towards that. We want to have more families educated about the human trafficking, hopefully just to save more children. That's what our effort we want to
So
increase.
how do people help you, and how do people get involved with you?
Primarily, we are a Christian ministry. Perhaps you could pray for us. And of course, any kind of work that we do, they need the financial resources. Maybe some of the church leaders and my friends are going to hear this message today. What I'm asking is, you are a supporter in our work. Many hundreds of the friends have been joining hands with this great cause. I want everybody to pray, and also sharing with the local church that you belong to, with your friends, and asking them to pray for us as well. Of course, first and foremost, pray. And then if they could, maybe helping financially. Also, maybe they could invite us to speak at their church. It doesn't have to be at the church in a main event, but it could be just a Bible study, or it could be like a man's breakfast, or it could be a vacation Bible school, whatever. I travel here in Medford, and just spoke in an Aglo meeting yesterday, last night. So those kind of events, maybe they could invite us.
Again, childrenrescuemission.org. I think we can't wrap our brain around children trafficking, and for the various reasons you give. Now, we're dealing with sex trafficking in America, and in particular here in the Pacific Northwest as it relates to the freeway and all that. But just overall children trafficking to become slaves, it's hard for us to get that in our head, what that is.
This is what it happens, sir. When somebody would come to their home, uneducated, illiterate moms and dads, they would be conned into selling their own children without knowing it. This is what it happened. When they approach, they will just ask, Wouldn't you want your daughter to work in India? She will make a great big amount of money. She will come home. She will be 14 years old, 15 years old when he comes back home, and she will be able to get married. And then, wait a minute, we're going to give you this $100 right now, which you can use for your bill payment or something. So that's how they have been conned into this. I wouldn't see if they have a right mind, who would want to sell their own child? But they have been conned into. It has been going on and on because of this.
And the government doesn't get involved.
Government have this policy. They want, if they find out about the trafficking, they have a strict laws and so forth, but they don't enforce it. If they have a laws and have not been enforced, and it cannot be, the job cannot be done. And also another thing is, again, I already made my statement earlier. We don't want to talk negative about the government, criticize the Nepal's government, but this is what it happened. When the people go there and solicit for the trafficking, and they will be sold into the bondage, into the prostitution or the bond slave labor. Bond slave labor is a young boys sold into the mining companies. When you bring that kind of things to the government, the bureaucracy is very difficult, and then it goes on and on. It cannot get the job cannot be done, and there's a lot of layers of the administration, and things are not quite
easy.
Yeah, quite easy. Yeah, that's right. Things are a little bit difficult, to get the things done, to get the things addressed. They don't have statistics on how many children have been sold and so forth.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's how it has been.
Well, let me say, our viewers and listeners again, you can go to childrensrescuemission.org and learn more about it. Maybe the Lord's calling you to get involved, or to have Gyan come to your church, or to just learn more about it. I think we're hearing more and more about the need in Nepal. To me, it's a good thing, and hopefully it does help you. But it's an amazing country that just needs help, and compounded by the fact that Christians aren't seen as positive people, right?
That's right, sir.
Yeah.
That's right. I want to have a Nepal's church also. I'm sure Nepal's pastors also will hear this message.
Yeah.
Get involved on this kind of thing.
You know what? I'm going to keep you a little bit. We had a video and I forgot to run it, but let me run it now. You brought a video that's only a couple of minutes long that shows what you do. Let's take a look at that.
Child trafficking. It seems like breaking news, but Children Rescue Mission has been fighting this war against children for nearly 10 years. Here's what's happening firsthand from someone who lived there and is fully engaged in this fight. Meet Gyan Pantha. He is Children Rescue Mission's founder from the remote mountain village of Gorkha, Nepal. He was raised by a Hindu family and became a radicalized communist atheist. Like most villagers, he had no transportation, electricity, or telephone. Nepal's poor, low-caste people typically endure lifelong poverty and persecution with little hope for a better life.
For me, the time I've spent here in Nepal has been excellent, just seeing God at work, and God at work through the churches, through the leaders, to see their desire to spread the gospel, and to see the way that they love especially the children who are in danger of child trafficking.
For over a decade, Gyan has been bringing the gospel to Nepal and spreading a life-changing campaign against child trafficking and bond slave labor.
The vision is clear: to win Nepal to Christ, and in the process to really hinder, if not completely stop, the trafficking of humans from Nepal.
Today, as an ordained Brethren pastor, Gyan leads trips to Nepal to help spread the gospel, build churches, rescue children, and disrupt child trafficking.
This was my first missions trip ever, other than some short-term domestic missions work in prisons. I was just overwhelmed by the need that is here in Nepal. My heart breaks for the children that are being trafficked, and I want to make efforts to change that in any way that I can.
Gyan had the rare opportunity to get an education and later graduated from college in the Kathmandu area with a degree in business. When he accepted the Lord, he learned about a new kind of persecution as a Christian in a religiously intolerant Hindu nation. And soon thereafter, he responded to God's call to help Nepal's children and founded Children Rescue Mission.
Children are abused and sold in bond slave labor. Please join your hands with me to fight this fight.
Every year, 5,000 to 7,000 young children have been sold from Nepal to India. We hike in Nepal's mountain villages and we spread awareness against child trafficking in the villages. As a Christian ministry, we bring the gospel in the mountain villages and help people, and we also help children stay home. Would you join hand with us to help our cause?
Gyan would like to share with your church, organization, men's breakfast or retreat, youth gathering or vacation Bible school, the mission field in Nepal. Schedule Gyan by info@childrenrescuemission.org or calling 530-941-8588.
Well, clearly it's a summary of your life and your ministry. I want to say thank you for spending some time with us today. Again, that phone number is 530-941-8588, or you certainly can go to childrensrescuemission.org and learn more about it. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, sir.
And you're in our prayers, and keep up the good work, and keep us updated, because you're just down the road here in Reading a little ways.
That's right,
so
sir.
when you come through, let us know you're here, okay?
Oh, we'll do that, sir.
Good to see you.
Thank you so very much.
All right, we'll be right back.
I'm Paulina Leiser, producer of Focus Today. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to check our other videos at theDove.us.